Hello everyone, my section 2 book Is Your Mama Llama, written by Deborah Gorlino and illustrated by Steve Kellogg. Is Your Mama Llama starts off by having the main character, the llama, ask its friend Dave if its mama is a llama. So the llama asks its friend Dave if his mama is a llama. However, Dave is a bat. And then it goes on, and then Dave goes on to describe his mom by saying she hangs by her feet and she lives in a cave. I do not believe that's how llamas behave. Oh, I said, you're right about that. I think your mama sounds more like a bat. After the llama talks to his friend Dave, he goes and talks to his friend Fred. The llama asks his friend Fred, is his mama a llama? And Fred says, no, she is not. Fred then begins to describe his mom. And Fred begins to give these details about his mom. And then, at the very end, he goes, oh, I said, you don't need to go on. I think your mom must be a... And his mom was a swan. After that, it goes on to have the llama ask its friend, Jane, is your mama a llama? And Jane said, no, because Jane was a cow. And it begins to give descriptions of Jane's mom by saying she grazes on grass. And she says, moo. After Jane, the llama goes and talks to his friend Clyde. And once again, Clyde describes his mom. And then it says, I'm beginning to feel that your mom must really be a seal. After the seal, the llama goes and talks to his friend Rhonda and asks, of course, is your mama a llama? And Rhonda said, no. And Rhonda then begins to describe what its mom is. Rhonda's mom was a kangaroo. Then the llama again goes on and asks its friend Lynn, is its mama a llama? Lynn then begins to describe his mom by saying, my mama has big ears, long lashes, and fur, and you of all people should know about her. And Lynn's mama turns out to be a llama. And after we find out his mama is a llama, the book ends. Overall, I thought the pictures of this book were really good. I thought the pictures captured the animal in their natural habitat very well, because after it talked about and described each of the kids' parents, it showed their parents in like their natural habitat, like just being the animal. And they were all really well defined, detailed pictures. So I feel like that really helped push the image of that animal. I believe this book belongs to the fantasy, picture book, and poetry genre. I believe that because whenever we first learned about genres, the example of that genre matches very well to this genre. The pictures are very similar in the art style. They're both a fantasy book by having animals taught. And this book has a little bit of poetry in some rhymings, and this book has a little bit of poetry and rhymes at some points. So I feel like the combination of the fantasy with the animals talking, the pictures being very cartoonish, and as well as a little bit of poetry, that this book should be placed in the fantasy, picture book, and poetry. The quote goes, she's got big hind legs and a pocket for me, so I don't think a llama is what she could be. Oh, I said, that is certainly true. I think your mama's a kangaroo. I chose this quote because I thought it was pretty funny, as well as it kind of rhymed together very well. I just chose this quote because I thought, like I said, it was funny because the llama is trying all these different animals, and he can't find the llama that he's looking for. And he confused a llama with a kangaroo. This book doesn't touch on very important things, so I feel like it's kind of hard to pick a direct quote that's very impactful. So I just chose one that I thought was pretty funny and made me laugh a little bit, as well as, pertain to the main overall story as much as possible. For the overall strengths of this book, I think this book had a lot of strengths. I think that it excelled in showing the animals in their natural habitats, as well as having a very good rhyme scheme throughout the book. Because most of the rhyming comes in when it says, "Oh, your parent must be." So it describes the animal and it says, "Oh, your parent must be," and it usually rhymes somehow. I thought that was a strength of this book. However, the weakness of this book, in my opinion, is its repetitiveness, as I feel this book is very repetitive. It's almost the same thing throughout the whole entirety of the book, but it still somehow works so where it doesn't get stale. And finally, using this book in a classroom setting, I will either have the students choose to color or draw and color their favorite character from the book. So, for example, if their favorite character was the bat, they would then draw the bat and the bat's mother. I believe this would be useful to show the kids that their mother is not going to change who they are, if that makes sense. So if this would so if this student's favorite character in the book was a bat, they would draw the bat they would draw the bat's mom and the bat. This way it can show the kids that a bat comes from a bat. A bat doesn't come from a llama or something along those lines. I feel like this could be pretty fun and pretty useful. And it can be pretty funny testing the kids and saying like, "Oh, does a bat come from a llama? Does an elephant come from a llama?" Just different things that can be fun and also teach the kids animals. And that has been my section 2 presentation. I hope you guys enjoy.